Hi guys, it's Sarah. So in the next question was, do you have to go and view properties yourself? Now, there's actually two answers to this because it really depends on the business that you want to create. So for me, when I first started, I didn't want to be driving up the motorway all over the UK, looking at houses, doing viewings and these sorts of things. So the way that I worked and work now is I tend to not do the viewings myself. The reason this worked for me was because it meant that I could be based in my office in Milton Keynes, which I'm here in now, and I could still trade deals throughout the whole of the UK because I had that process and that system in place. Now, in the main part, the way you do this is you work in partnership with your investors, and your build team and your investors, they tend to do the actual site visits themselves. Now, I go into a lot more detail about this in the actual training, but you don't have to do the viewings if you don't want to. However, if you are local and you're sourcing locally, it doesn't hurt to go and do the viewings because you can build the relationship with the vendor or with the agent far quicker than if you're sending somebody else to do it on your behalf. Now, some people are also better on the phone than they are face to face. So for me, I'm a better salesperson when I'm on the phone. So put me on a phone to an agent, put me on the phone to a vendor, and I'll probably get the deal done. Whereas put me face to face, not that I'm terrible at it, but it takes me a little bit longer. I'm just more comfortable that way, and I think that's just because I've done telephone-based sales for most of my career. You might be somebody who works better when you can read body language and you're in a room with somebody. And if that's the case, then there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't do viewings. It just depends on whether or not that's practical around your working life, around your children, whether you're local to the properties or not. Ultimately, you can do it either way. The way that I do it is I tend not to do viewings on houses that I'm going to sell on to an investor, because I think it's important before an investor buys a deal from you anyway, that they've been to see that site. They have to rubber stamp it and say that they definitely want it in the condition it's in, having seen it with their own eyes, or their build team's been to see it. What that means is you've got that reassurance that they can never say that they didn't know that there was works, or they didn't know there was a problem with the window or whatever it is, because they'll have physically been in that building and seen it themselves. So for me, I tend to work with my investors as partners, and they do the site visits specifically. We make the offers subject to site visit, and then the site visits are carried out by somebody else. If I'm sourcing from my own portfolio, obviously, I will absolutely go and see those, but generally they're within a 30-minute driving distance of where I live. So I'm more than happy to do that. I hope that's helpful.